Friday. It's weekend. It's hard in the weekend, right? These maybe we should rethink the weekends.
Yeah. Oh, plus
I
to
do not know. What do you think?
yeah. Well, today I have to start work like an hour earlier today too.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. We're just gonna have to keep a
keeping it
tight
concise.
schedule.
Yeah, keeping it
But maybe
concise.
rethink the weekend altogether. Maybe just do a Sunday and keep that Saturday is really a drag somehow. And you see it in the market too. Everything is down. People don't
Yeah,
want to. People are touching grass.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, keeping it concise and just
Yeah.
um, giving people something to do, pop in or whatever. But
Yes, we're gonna. I'm gonna address the Monad thing again. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the SUI tokens. Name them one by one. Maybe we should do a little something for the fart coin as well. I mean, look, we're gonna do some stuff and we're gonna explain it later. I'm gonna play some music. I'm gonna get my faucet on Monad,
yeah.
so I don't forget that.
Oh, by the way, did you see those videos? The S&P 500 video turned out pretty good. I thought that
I,
the
I
editing.
still gotta look. I am so wrecked today with
Oh,
everything. I
I
have been
got you.
on the go.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I just got home. I ate a copious amount of chicken. I'm nearly falling off my bar stool here, in a good way, in the best way possible. So I'm gonna look at all of that. And I have a little matcha right here to give me a little bit of energy. Matcha is the alpha. Let's go play some music and just keep it going. Yeah, yeah,
hell
yeah.
yeah.
Let's do that. All right, here we go. Hey, lights up. Yo, I'm deep in the day X chasing that glow. Moonbag dreams, watch my tokens all grow. Gas feasting, but I'm riding the hype. FOMO's got me clicking at 3 a.m. right. Remember coin fever, I'm a DJ supreme. Chilling on X, living life for the meme. Truck to wild ride, green candles, my muse. But a rug's around the corner and I'm bound to lose. Slippage hitting hard, yeah, I'm slipping too fast. Rug pulling my soul, but the thrill's gonna last. Yeah, it's got no face and the contract's a lie. Still I dive in head first, cause I'm that kind of guy. Just wanna rug you all night long. Pump it to the moon and the floor is where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah, we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. Airdrop alerts, I'm claiming that drip, but the wallet's drained, yo, I fell for the script. NFTs popping, caught the frog for a grand, now the floor's at zero, just a JPEG in hand. Discord to shill a scream to the top, but the chart's free falling, and my heart's gonna drop. Still, I'm all in, double down, no regret, cause the DJ's got a DJ, that's the life that I bet. Slippage hitting hard, yeah, I'm slipping too fast. Rug pulling my soul, but the thrill's gonna last. Dev's got no face, and the contract's a lie. Still, I dive in head first, cause I'm that kind of guy. Just wanna rock you all night long. Pump it to the moon, and the floor is where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah, we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. Smart contracts a trap, yo, it's still in my stack. Devs on a yacht and they ain't coming back. X is buzzing, calling fraud on the plate, but I'm still in love with this DJ ballet. From the bull run highs to the bear market sting. Rug pull romance is my favorite thing. One more trace, so I'm quitting the game. But you rug me again and I'm back in the flame. I just wanna rug you all night long. Pump it to the moon and the floor's where we're on. Crypto DJ style, yeah, we chase that spark. Rug you in the light, leave me broke in the dark. To the DJs out there with the lords on the phone. Rug both boss, yeah, we're living it all. From the scams we trust to the bags we bust. I just wanna rug you, cause it's crypto or dust. Let me know if you wanna tweak the vibe or have more DJ flair. He's playing virtual scams, NFT market trends. Make it catchier, make it catchier. There we go, there we go. Let's do it. Oh, not again. What's the ticker then? What's the ticker? Yeah. What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fact. Got a runner on the map, Solana sniping like a gat. And the SOE is moving quickly. I'm the squeeze them where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1,000X is gonna land. I got he chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at? right, all right, all right. Happy Saturday. Good morning, taking everybody here who is. Oh, I have these on repeat, so it's easier for me. But I kind of tend to. Yeah, it's Saturday, you guys. It's Saturday in crypto. You know what that means, right? Everybody's out touching the grass, and when they do, when market falls, price are falling, except on Bitcoin. So I don't know what everybody's worried about not holding even a bag over the weekend. I mean, come on. What are you doing in crypto anyway? Um, yes, Bitcoin holding that 103 pretty steadily. Nobody is really selling here, and that is kind of remarkable. The rest of the market is not believing any of this. It is just banking on Bitcoin to go down. If you would have taken my call on CE, you would be up big in profit. Tick, did you take it? I know you got some of that CE when I,
I did.
you know,
Yeah.
yes, when I kind of said,
So, but
oh, yeah,
I
yeah,
had already, but I basically just sold after that little pump. I didn't think it
yeah,
was
yeah,
gonna, I didn't think it was gonna pump more than that. So I just kind of
yeah.
rotated it all into Sui.
Well, to be fair, I didn't give you any targets either. So I closed my long, and then on that little retrace, I did reopen the long and got some other targets in. So, yes, doing a great trade up there. That's really a dark horse. And that's why I'm always in spaces talking about it. It might seem boring, you guys, but there is bread to be made outside of meme tokens and degening. And you kind of have to do it because it keeps you in profit, right? All the time. So even when you then possibly get a rug somewhere, it's not that painful. So yeah, CE doing very well. CE is a layer one blockchain, EVM compatible and parallel scalable. They launched right after SUI in that same time frame, and of course because they have that three letter with the S, it's kind of like they're as seen as like competition of each other almost. And we can really see that, right? That they relate to each other in certain ways, even though that they are completely different, right? There's apples and oranges, and it's Sei and Sui. And but yeah, Dark Horse, Sei, keep your eyes on Sei, Layer 1 blockchain, also as new as Sui is. Yeah, it's a rebuild of Ethereum, right? And they have a good sense of humor. I like what's going on there. And of course, it was so undervalued that at one point it's got to pick up. And people that trade layer ones, they don't necessarily look at market cap. They look at price. Just like at Bitcoin, we don't look at market cap. We look at price, right? And so when you see these under a dollar blockchain layer ones that are doing decently well, these are your dark horses. Core chain is another I would mention. And yeah, so keep an eye on those, you guys. Jump into that ecosystem, see what's going on there. I mean, Sui is going to be, I think, having a big leg up. But that is going to be my golden pick actually for this bull run. It is going to be Sui, and I made that known already like a good year ago that it was going to be Sui. I'm buying every meme token on Sui. I don't care if it rugs one day or not, right? Just the ones that are going to fly that I'm in are going to make up for all of that plenty. So I'm just holding positions everywhere I can, just grabbing moonbags there on the meme tokens, and then, DCAing a little bit further into the um, utility there. But it doesn't mean that other things won't do well. A really good portfolio is a diversified portfolio. So go ahead and look at these other late ones that are coming out. And with that, of course, I want to talk about that Monad again. So did you do your faucet all day today already, Tick?
Yes, I should have. I'm gonna actually double
You should
check.
have.
I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll go ahead and just do that
You'd be like, oh,
sometimes.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm like, oh, it's been six
Can I milk
hours.
me some Monad?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I literally do that though for sure. But yeah,
Yeah,
so
well, I
mine.
have to. I recognize because I kind of tend to do the same. Like, oh yeah, I still got to do the monad, right? And then
Yeah.
just get back up and just do the fauceting. So yes, monad, your new layer one in testnet, right? Having all the bells and whistles that I think a good layer one blockchain that is going to be highly successful needs. I think this is going to outperform a lot of other EVMs, a lot of other rebuilds of Ethereum. Now, I know it's only half the speed as Sui is, right? And Sui, of course, is a different beast. But it has that EVM compatibility, and that just sets it apart. That gives it a little bit of a leg up for Monad, right? That's a plus on that side, and a minus for Sui somehow because Sui codes with a different language. Now that's not a problem at all. They're really doing well, investing in new builders, investing in new developers, but I mean, you don't need to have all that when you're a rebuild of Ethereum. Everybody knows 95% of developers code on Ethereum. I would say, I mean, look, maybe 80, 90%, but the most, right? Far out, most of the developers do that on Ethereum. So there's no difference there. It's an Ethereum rebuild. So anything for Ethereum goes on Monad, works perfectly fine. Actually, you can now go to that Monad XYZ page and you can go and get yourself some testnet tokens from the faucet. For that, you need 0.03 Ethereum in a wallet and 3 previous Ethereum transactions, right? And then you can faucet 4 times a day. So every 6 hours, you can faucet Monad tokens. Now, what can you do with these Monad tokens? You can go to Monad XYZ, go to the ecosystem, and there you see all these DApps that you can just go ahead and play around with. You can launch your own tokens. You can trade meme tokens. You can launch your own NFTs. You can mint NFTs. Some NFTs are actually bullish. Some NFTs will actually give you access to the whitelist for when it goes main, right? So we have maybe some front row seats. The Atlantis ones are actually giving you an opportunity to fetch Atlantis airdrops. So they are there too. So there's a lot to do on Monad. There's staking, unstaking, borrowing, lending, whatever you can do on a normal net, you can do on testnet. It is actually preferred that you do, and lots of it, right? And then when you do, you might be eligible for possible airdrops and Monad when they go live. And in order to check that, sorry, you guys, it's such a busy day. In order to check that, you go to Layer Hub XYZ. So Layer Hub XYZ, and there you can check your wallet, how you are doing with all of that, right? How are you moving on that testnet? So in comparison to other wallets, right? So I would say if you become into the 0.5% of wallets or something like that, which is very much doable, you'll be in a good range for fetching airdrops from Monad, all for just testing the net. Now, there's something else that's bullish about that is that you are already moving on that blockchain. So you know what the utility is, how to get on there, how to move on there, where to find stuff, and you really have a leg up of all the other people that are going to have to discover this all later, which that will inevitably happen. There's a big community on X as well, so go check that out, and also on Discord. So yes, that is the Monad thing. Again, tomorrow I'm going to do a 5 Monad giveaway in order for us to get ready for that alleged Sappy Seals mint. I'm gonna mint, but I'm gonna make sure somebody else can mint as well because it's gonna cost 5 Monad. And if you don't have that, I'll have it for you. And we'll do that tomorrow. Take, how about it? Is that a good idea?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I just
Yeah.
the only thing I will say is I don't know how many people are participating in the testnet stuff. I mean,
Well, of our community, there are gonna be some, and I like to help somebody of our village out
yeah,
when they
I
were
know Lamb
testnetting with
is.
us.
Lamb's rolling deep with us
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in the freaking
But if you just want to
LFJ.
start with that testnet as well, it's that's okay. Your address is the same as your Ethereum address, right? All you need to do is set it to the testnet of Monad. That's basically all you need to do, and then you go ahead and mint that one on your own too. So I
Hmm.
just want to help somebody out who may not have the amount of Monad that they need for that mint,
Yeah,
right? We were there once too when we didn't have these amounts for these bullish NFTs, and we had to sit there too. At least I did.
yeah.
So we're gonna
Nice.
do that tomorrow and give away 5 Monad for that Sappy Seals because I think that mint is due, right? Can you look that up?
Yeah, I'll double check it. Let me see. So on the Mint terminal, no, it's on the launch pad. So 2 days and 20 hours left. Oh, so it's gonna be Monday then, right? Let me see. 2 days and 20.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, so I think
Yes,
that's
I will
yeah.
do a giveaway tomorrow to get ready for that, and possibly also on Monday, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's for the C Illuminati. Illuminati
It's
XYZ.
Illuminati. Yes, yes.
Yeah. So are
That's it.
do they have a pretty strong presence on on Twitter and X and everything? Have you?
Well, it's allegedly from the Sappy Seals community. So,
Okay.
so, right?
I don't know anything about them. Are they kind of like pudgy
Oh, the
penguins?
Sappy
But
Seals is pretty big.
is it
Yeah,
uh,
yeah, just like the penguins.
pudgy penguins?
Yeah, yeah. A little less big than the penguins, I would assume. But that was once a big airdrop too, you guys. If you missed it, the whole penguin airdrop, the penguin airdrop, and also the Jupiter airdrop, right? Just come by and swing by the spaces often, right? Because we can. I'm really hunting down all these things for everybody all the time, right? And I think this is just the next best thing is going to be Monad here. I'm really catching the vibes there. I'm gonna do some test netting at the moment. I'm gonna go to NetSmith. Just to give an example, it's AI agents, tokenized, automating markets, optimizing liquidity, built on Monad, powered by Open Insight. I'm going to connect my wallet here with my testnet tokens. I took Lamb's advice. I did not drink extra coffee. Instead, I got a matcha
Oh, there you go.
and hope that helps me out here because it's been really busy.
You were called. You were saying what's the name of the website? It's Nads. No, not Nad Smith.
Nad Smith
Okay, yeah, cool. I'm looking at it.
AI dot AI. So I'm connecting my wallet. What can I do? Hit functional community, functional tier, monarch. Oh, what's going on here? It's not much. Oh, I got the wrong network. All right, let's switch. Monad Testnet. Cool, cool. I'm there. Functional. What is this? Netkeeper. A vigilant AI keeper of access, protecting top whitelist spots for the most degen and dedicated exclusives. Website. All right, let's go there. Maybe there's nothing much about this. Was a new one that released just in a yeah. See, now we gotta wait for some stuff on there. Let me see. Maybe DeFi. Let me see. All right, we gotta figure that one out when it's fully operational. They just started. What is Nitro Finance? Okay, let's go to Nitro Finance. Nitro Finance XYZ. Launch the app. Let's go. Connect the Walito. Start testnetting. So if you're, welcome everybody in the room. Again, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you are. Also on YouTube and X, if you're watching with us, welcome, welcome. I hope you're having a great Saturday. I hope you touched some grass or are going to today. We are now doing that Monad testnet, and I think, Tick, you have it up, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
I've got all the test net
So I
stuff
am
open.
gonna trade. I'm gonna swap some unverified stuff, which sounds a little sketch, but I'm gonna trade some Monad. I'm gonna trade some Monad here. I don't have any of this coin. Yes, I'm gonna trade some Monad for, and I'm gonna do one Monad, and I'm gonna possibly just get some APR Monad here, APR Monad, and swap. So I'm on Nitro Finance. I'm swapping one Monad for one a priori Monad, and then I can stake that if I want to, right? So I did something here. Let's see if we can do a liquidity position. We can take a liquidity position. Not possible at the moment. Okay, not possible. We can add to create a pool. I'm going to create a pool. Let's create a. I cannot create a pool just yet. All right, some things here I cannot do just yet. Also, this is a new how do you say D app on Monad. So we'll just keep that one in mind again too. Let's just do one more for the fun of it. So at least from some transactions on there. So what they're looking for, they're looking for you to make lots of transactions with lots of different contracts. So
what would be then the spiel for you to get as much of that as possible? Well, trading those meme tokens with little amounts is going to add up by a lot, because every time that you trade a different meme token, and there's lots being launched, so it's not like you have to look hard for them at all. It's like every couple of minutes there's one. You can launch your own too, and you then interact with these different contracts, right? So you interacting with different contracts, and you make a ton of movement of swaps, right? So uh, these meme tokens and the NFT mints, both of them are really really good for raking up these transactions, and these transactions are good matter, because the more you do, uh, the more you will be eligible for these possible airdrops. Well, I kind of did everything already on here. It's kind of getting boring at this point. I'm waiting for that Ludify to work a little better. Still haven't figured out what our Monad Explorer, Block Vision, Monorail did all those. But if you are not, hey, Move Digital, let's just go there. I just discovered something, and it's an RWA protocol, bringing Asia's best yields on chain to Monad. Might be bullish. Join the waiting list. All right, let's go. Join that wait list. Enter app. I'm on a wait list, and I enter the app. This might be something. We're just live on stage having some fun. Oh, I'm gonna mint a Moo bond. Yes, I'll pay. What am I paying? I'll pay with Monad. One Monad. And I get 1.3 Moo bond. Oh, that's awesome. Let's just do one of these. Connect wallet. Yes, that's a good one. We're going to. Can you go to Moo Digital?
Oh yeah, I just did mint successfully completed. So mint
Yeah.
Moo bond
Yes.
price
I don't know.
7 day
Something.
PY 10%.
Yes, yes. So I'm buying more Moo bond. Apparently,
Huh.
I'm buying four more. There we go. I'm minting four more. Actually, minting. Cool, cool.
Then you
Did
go to
some minting here.
integrations, and they have Clover, which I keep seeing
Yes.
Clover as well, nad.fun, and then Perps. So I just saw those three, and then Nitro, which you were just talking about. So Clover, I'm actually curious about what the frick is Clover. So Mubond USDC.
A limit
What?
order book. So it's the order book.
Oh,
It's glob. It's glob. It's going to be part of the infrastructure of Monad. We saw this before. We talked about it before.
okay.
Yeah, yeah. So I got 2 point. At the moment, I have two. I'm going to mint some more, but I have 2.47 Moo bond, which equals into $2.54. It says in my wallet. And yep, yep. Yeah, a globber is going to be one of the things you need to actually, all of those that we see on here, Perps, Kinsa, Guru, Globber, these all going to be utility for Monad. So I want to keep an eye. But that Mood Digital, I need a little bit more about it. I'm going to read the docs just, sometime after this space, not in the space. That would be even more boring. So hey, you guys, if you want to come on stage and have a little, chat with us, you're more than welcome to. If not, I'm gonna move on to some Sui. I did the market already before. I just shout out to Lamb. Look, this CE man is pumping hard. What is going on there? What is going on there? Surely, maybe there's some news I haven't even checked. Why this is so bullish? The chart looked like it was gonna rip, and I'm just trading the chart. I'm not looking for anything else here, but it's just a little bit perplexing to me. Like it's doing really well, outperforming the market. So now I'm getting curious if you're outperforming the market. CE, what are you doing, right? What is CE doing that it
Yeah.
outperforms the market? Yeah.
Do you think so? You think it's going to continue going up? Because I had sold because once I saw that I was up, I
Mm-hmm.
was like, I'm not going to wait around and see if
Well, I wouldn't ape in on these pumps, right? If you took position
it's already
before,
up.
that's
Yeah.
great. Just have it be on your watch list. Keep it in mind. Let's just dive in a little bit about what they're doing.
What's AE?
Yeah. I'm just going to find out here. See if I search up some articles
Yeah,
over there.
I had came across some stuff like right after
Oh, I see it. Yes.
yeah, there's something with the
So,
government, correct?
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So here's what's going on. But this is news after the fact. So I first like to point out the chart was undervalued. I guess it was a few days ago. I Tuesday or something, I Monday or Tuesday, I marked it for a good swing trade already. The chart looked like it was ready to do
Yeah.
something, right? So also Nakamoto games, I both of them did really really well for my trades. So on Monday, Tuesday, I was already marking those for trades because they looked hella bullish and they wanted to do something. So I never look at news. The chart will tell me if I need to trade or not, right? I'm not trading any news. But now that it's so hard outperforming Bitcoin, even on the weekend, I'm like, man, there might be something going on there. We don't know. So you might want to just look that up. So the price surge is because of the Wyoming stablecoin pilot. So SEI native's token experienced a remarkable rally, jumping 35% in 3 days from 0.5696 on June 17th to 0.2144 yesterday, right? And now it jumped to 22 cents, I guess. Following the announcement that SEI Network was chosen as one of the two finalists for Wyoming USDT backed stablecoin pilot set to launch in July 25 using Layer Zero's cross chain infrastructure. So, this selection highlighted SEI's regulatory alignment and scalability, reportedly outperforming competitors like Ethereum and Solana during the testing. The price surge was accompanied by a 62 spike in trading volume, reinforcing bullish momentum. Analysts noted a breakout from a 6 month descending broadening wedge, with some prediction further gains toward 80 cents if momentum sustains. So, yes, it did break out of that wedge. I kept an eye on that wedge, and that's why beginning at the week I was saying like this is a fabulous entry here. I'm marking it for a trade. 80 cents, however, let me have a look back at that chart then, because 88 cent was kind of the top there from the top of my head, right? Let's have a look. Pulling up, see, going to my trading view, see what's going on. Oh, actually, it hit a 24 cent bullish. So this looks now like it wants to reverse on the daily. That is even more bullish than I thought. There's bullish divergence on the daily as well. So I'm just waiting for a little cool down because I am DCAing into SEI a little bit. I didn't know, but I was for a while. Kind of forgot about that, but I kind of want to add to my bag then with the trade, the future that I had open. Might want to use some of that just to buy some extra in. I am going to wait, however, till it retests, let's say 20 cents would be a good deal here for me, right? So, yes, of course, toppy top there. What is then the target? I could see the target. Oh, I guess I charted this already on Monday. Very cool. Proud of myself. All right, 41 cents, 42 cents. I'm looking for that. That is an upper trend line that it still needs to break out of. If it does with a candle, then that 80 cents is certainly on the table. It's on the table for CE as is, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. This is a dark horse. This can easily 510x. This is a new blockchain. Like I said, you gotta watch those. These are undervalued. Sui did the same last year too, right? Undervalued layer ones that are actually working and having some relevance, right? So this was just waiting to happen. But this is like a classic example on how the chart tells, preludes the news. How strange is this? Oh, people are always like, yeah, we need news, and then the chart will pump. No, 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 no. Chart already told you ahead of time what was going to happen. There's no mystery here, right? It's not magic like that. So yes, SEI is a, just do your research on SEI blockchain, right? They're bullish for numerous stuff that I don't want to go into today, just for the sake of not being boring, because that's going to be a lot of technical. But research this yourself. I think SEI is a great upside potential for at least a part of your portfolio to be exposed to new technology on the blockchain. And so, yes, I think it's very valuable to add. Yeah, at least just don't ape in all you got. Put it on your watch list. Get familiar with SEI, right? And then decide what your plan is going to be. But I'm bullish on SEI. Let's go.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I had just bought some just because I saw the price was low,
I
and
say when you're quiet, I just know what's up, Tick.
mhm. Oh no, no, I was talking about last week when I bought
Let's
some,
see.
and
Hmm.
I mean I'm glad that I bought some, but I don't think that I want to get any more Sei right now. I don't know the way that the chart
Hmm.
looks. It looks like a classic bull trap. Like we've had this what basically an all time high it looks like, and then now this little pump on the tail end of it, but it looks
Yeah.
like it's gonna go back down to go back down
No,
to 17
no, 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 no,
cents.
no, no, no.
You don't
Because
think
it
so?
took the no, because it now confirmed the trend line down. So what you didn't see in your, you are doing it correct. You're looking left. You're looking for support and resistance. But the next level, when you go away from support and resistance, is that you're gonna see patterns in the chart, and that wedge was there. And whenever I see a wedge and we're coming into the corner of the wedge, we are going to either break to the up or down. Now, it did break to the up, and not only did it do that with a full candle, it also retested there already. So it just retook all of that floor back, right? And it's about to be,
With the second
yeah,
candle on the 3 hour, the one that's
yes,
after the yeah.
yes, yeah. So that's what you like to see for a breakout. Remember when I was telling about swing trades and how we
Mm.
look for setups for swing trades? This is a classic one. So classic, undeniable, unmistakably a good trade, right? So you have that wedge, you're looking for the breakup, but you're not taking the trade just yet, right? Confirm. When confirmed, we are going. And when are we go? Where are we going then? Well, towards that 40 cents, because that's another important wedge that we come up against the trend line there too. So we're gonna see some. Actually, when I use like a GAN fan on say E, it kind of works. Sometimes these things work. I don't like to use the GAN fan to begin with, right? It doesn't work on every chart. Somehow with say E, it just vibes, right? That analysis tool vibes. So I tend to put it on there, and then you kind of see that a little bit more clear because it's behaving so well, right? Almost too good. But yeah, if you want a meme coin, then what is the deal? Well, I have actually some of that Seiyan, right? So Seiyan is OG meme coin of Sei, and I don't know what it sits on. I think maybe around 2-3 million, something like that market cap, and so that's the number one meme coin on Sei, right? So if you're like, no, forget about the utility, I'm going all in meme coins because they're low cap and I have a fantastic upside potential, then Seon is their number one meme coin. So
And
just
where the
because we like to
hell
keep it
where
fun.
does that even
Yeah.
exist? That's so like obscure. Meme coins on Sei.
Well,
Damn, I
look,
didn't even know.
look. Everybody's chasing on Solana. Everybody's on eat old meme
Uh,
coins, new meme coins, whatever. Lots of things don't work there
Jeez.
anymore. It's oversaturated. It pump and dumps are more likely to happen when stuff is oversaturated. I saw the same thing. You go to these new blockchains, you're taking some prime positions. Now you got to understand, volume is not the same, right? So you got to wait sometimes a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. For a hippo, I need to wait like 6 months. But
Hmm.
when that bag ripped, it did a 300x, right?
Yeah.
Because you're just there. These things are going to be discovered. People are going to go to it. And here's the thing: if you need to have balls to be early, if you do not have the balls to hold and be early and see some hefty volatility, also to the downside, right? I have bought bags on Sui that went, like from $200 to $25, only to rip up to it being 2,500, right? So it's kind of like the volatility there is so it's new. You're early, and with that, you there is risk, but
Mm,
also a very high reward. But
yeah.
you got to hold steady and got to stomach all of that, or else you're not going to make it.com. But
Yeah.
these when you have like a little bit of strategy and you have some gunpowder, you do not need. Otherwise, you can go ahead and do that, and it makes sense for me. It never worked out in a negative for me. I always made good bread doing taking these front row positions, being like, hell yeah, of course there's volume coming in on say you guys. This is like a freaking no brainer. That chain is undervalued, even though it's not my golden pick for the bull run is very clear. That's going to be Sui. and you can just write it down. But this is a dark horse. It will do well. It will also do 5 to 10x, and that ecosystem will also get volume, and that meme token will also run to 50, 60 million. Yes.
Hmm.
So that's a 40x for me. Yeah, I'm going in. I put $100, $200 in. That 40x. That's all going to be extra money for me, right?
Yeah.
I'm not watching that chart. I'm just waiting for the alert to come in that it's time. Right? It's cooked. It's ready. It can be out of the oven. That's when I go look. It's like in a restaurant, you're placing an order. You do not look back to not walk back to the kitchen 30 times and be like, hey, are you doing my food?
Hmm. Yeah. Right.
Right? How far along are we now? Cook, do something. Def, do something.
Yeah, but I will
Cook
say
my
this
food.
though. I will say
Mm.
this. Okay, because there's another edge to that sword, and
Mm.
you go,
Sure.
okay, so you go on the Dex screener and you start looking at that ecosystem on Sei. And so first bearish thing is it's called Sei V2 on the categories. I didn't know. I've never seen the V2 after Sei, but that's what I'm looking at right now. It's the Sei logo and it says Sei V2 on Dex screener. Bearish alone. Then you go to Sion, the number one meme coin. And then you see, so it's got 22K of volume, 102,000 of liquidity, and market cap at 3.5. Actually, that's like, those are perfect numbers. But you look at the age and it's 1 year old. And so without even, I haven't looked at this one yet, but I saw another one and I ran into an issue. So this one's a year old. And so a year and 23 days old. If I click on the website, come on, let's see. Okay, so their website still works. I clicked on another one where their website didn't even work. Like, and I looked at their Twitter for not Seon, but for another one, and they hadn't posted in like a year. So there are some
Yeah.
projects. I mean, that's understandable. But I wonder how many abandoned projects there are on say ecosystem. I mean, the same thing exists on Ethereum. The same thing exists on Solana. Don't get me
Oh
wrong. It's
yeah.
not that I
Of
don't
course you
realize
did.
that.
That's why I'm mentioning only their top meme token,
Yeah.
right? For Sui, their top meme token, and when I was early was Hippo.
Mm-hmm.
That was
And
their
the
top meme token. So I'm taking a position in that one and just
yeah.
don't look at the rest. But
That's super
that is
ballsy. I would never.
that. Yeah.
Something called
Well,
Hippo. I would.
that's why I said you gotta have some balls.
Yeah,
If you want to
yeah,
have big gains, right, then you
yeah,
gotta have the balls to do that.
yeah, for
and
sure.
and and for me, $100 is nothing of my. It's no sweat, right? So, and that's not to be arrogant or anything. It's just that that's my budget. Your budget might be
Right.
different. I don't mind $100 being lost somewhere.
Yeah. If you go to a
I'm
high
not,
roller table at the casino, the guys that are playing like
Yes,
five
exactly.
thousand
I'm,
dollar poker hands,
hey,
they have the
this
same
is
kind of
me
yeah.
being in the casino. I'm early. I'm putting down some chips. I walk away, let it cook. Ding ding, oven. Hopefully, 100x rolls out.
Yeah, the
But
Sei is
yeah,
like kind of doing like the big wheel spin where there's only like 100
yeah.
options and it's like yeah, test your luck and you might Sui actually is kind of like the same thing. It's like having uh
Well,
it just
yes,
narrows it
yes
down
and
so
no,
much.
because the things will come back alive on CE as well. I can pretty much
You think
guarantee
so?
you how that one goes down. Yes, because the same happened on Sui when volume came back. All of a sudden,
All the
zombies
projects.
start.
That makes
Yeah, because
sense. Yeah, like, it
you
might
know
be
how
dead for
hard
a
it is
while.
to keep a project alive
Yeah.
with every day the same market cap and no volume.
Yeah.
And then I mean that's why I commend Millie all the time, because Millie was actually one of the first meme tokens on Sui when there was nothing there,
Mhm.
and he has been grinding every day. I mean that's
Dude.
that's
Yeah, don't
real.
remind me.
You
I know what
deserve.
that's like with Solana coins too. I've been like on those teams of just grinding and the chart just is always moving sideways and stuff and it's like damn, and then out of the blue there'll be a big pump into volume
Yes.
onto that chain or whatever and
Yeah.
everyone's like oh shit, like we're rallying again. It's like no,
Yeah.
well actually all the volume came onto Solana, so that's why the coin's actually rallying. It has nothing to
Yes,
do with that
but
in particular
it's
coin,
all
but
volume dependent.
yeah.
Anytime you need more volume and you need to use a lot of marketing when the sentiment against the chain is down, and that's not because it's a bad chain. It's just because the Bitcoin dominance is so high. So everything is being restricted heavily. They're also really suffering. It's not for nothing that CE is so undervalued. I mean, how low
Yeah.
can you go
Well,
on a
that
beautiful
yeah.
technology like they have on Say with
Yeah,
all the things that they have coming for them for the future.
right.
How can this be so undervalued?
That was
And
my
that's because,
initial. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Well, how? Well, it's not. This is a time where you're also very much in the bear. They're not bull running by any means.
Yep, yep. That's
Bitcoin is in the
yeah,
bull run.
and it's outperforming amongst
Yeah,
the bears. Yeah, which is
yeah,
that's remarkable, and that's something that's easy for me to forget. Like I get tunnel vision when I'm like looking at these things and thinking about them sometimes because I'll start kind of like hyper focusing on one aspect, and I'll kind of forget like, oh yeah, well there's
yeah.
multiple. There's a bigger picture sometimes. It's like, oh well, the reason
Yes.
I'll be like bearish on Sei. I'm like, it seems like no one's talking about Sei, whatever. But then it's like, okay, but it's ripping 25% when everything else is
Yep.
down. So maybe
That's why
it's
I'm
worth.
saying,
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
lot of people, this will be a dark horse, and
yeah.
people will not see this one coming.
Right, right. Even you
But
telling me I'm having trouble
yeah,
seeing it, and the more I'm like
yeah.
wrapping my head around it, I'm like, you know what? I think, I mean,
Look,
you're always right. So
if
that
you're
the fact,
here
yeah,
in the if you're here in the bear market, this should be your mission. You're not here to waste your freaking time on X or, I
yep,
love tokens too, but they can take away a lot of your energy and
yeah,
attention to
it's
what you
bad.
should be looking for here in this bull
Mm-hmm.
market.
That's a
Is
great
the
point.
next Solana, right? You're looking for the next Solanas, right? You're looking for the next BNB. You're looking for these things that you're looking for,
We're
because
looking for the
these new
next utopia, though.
ecosystems
You
and
know.
being early on these ecosystems,
Mm-hmm.
man, you're gonna win so hard. It's not gonna be funny. And the
Well,
only way to distinguish these is to look for them in the bear market, not when they're pumping. Then you're
hey,
too late. Yeah.
talking about frickin' pumping. Yesterday I sent you Gore at 36. Today it's at 51 million. Gore.
Now
So
get out of
yeah, I'm not
here.
into it, but it is
No.
worth commenting on because what
Yes.
is going
Yes.
on with the lore of the project? Have you done any research onto what Gore Bagana is?
No, I didn't. But hey,
It's
fill the people in while I'll
yeah.
go fill up my little sippy cup with
Yeah, I
something.
need coffee too. But the whole I
Not
will
coffee,
give you
lamb. Not coffee.
give you a brief rundown if anyone is curious. So 51 million market cap is substantial. It's and it just hit 52 million. It's up today 81%. Gore Bagana is a meme coin on Solana. I don't hold the position with it. These ones scare me when I see a bunch of inside trading going on. I've gotten wrecked trying to ride those waves. It's not easy to do. But anyway, and you never know where they're gonna call it and when it's just gonna rug out of nowhere. But this is a an answer to the, I guess, not the hypocrisy, but kind of the inefficiency of meme coins and calling them different things. And how is Ethereum different from how is a fork different than the actual layer one when all you're doing is just calling it a different name? Oh, here we go. Yeah, a revolutionary Solana fork. So basically, you're just throwing a new name on this fork, and you can just call it whatever. And it's kind of like a parody of the fact that creating a new blockchain or whatever could be as simple as just throwing a new name on the meme token. There's more to it. I don't want to go into the whole thing, but it's kind of like it stems from this conversation that took place on Twitter that basically, people saying I can just release a fork of this and just call it whatever, and then that's going to be whatever's Gore Bagana is going to be the new blockchain. And so this is on Solana. It's a Solana fork. It's just a meme coin, and it's basically just a bunch of insiders holding and trading. So right now there's 42 whales holding Gore. The ticker is Gore, sitting at 52 million market cap. These sorts of things, are why Solana is just like ruined for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't even like trying to participate. A lot of people have been sidelined. I feel like every time I hear about a meme coin that's actually ripping on Solana, like I'm always looking at it with the side eye, because it's like I'm still holding so many dust bags that are exactly the same as whatever the current flavor of the day is. So, I mean, I like looking at these things so I can get an idea of what like the psychology in the market is, and also what kind of like new technology might be emerging, what new narratives might be going on, what are people like latching onto, what's important to people, like the Labubu thing. That one, anyone could see that from 100 yards away coming at them. What was going to happen with that because of the pop culture dynamic or whatever, the just the pop culture behind the collectibles, that translating to the blockchain. It's like obvious evolution in that progression. But yeah, I don't have too much else to talk about this. I was pulling up the Moby screener, seeing what's popping today. I'm surprised to see that Launch Coin is still relevant because I don't see anyone using it. You know what? I did get myself. I will admit I did get myself some Gore Guy because it fits that Gore Bagana narrative and it fits the chill guy narrative, and those coins tend to do all right. And so sometimes I'll just grab like a small bag and just let it sit there because after a few months, sometimes they rip. Okay, are you with me? Hey, what's up? Damn, finally someone came to save me. What's up?
What
That
was up?
it was Thousand X. He was I think C3PO took over his microphone for a second. Or was R2D2
Hi, you guys.
or something.
Sorry if I have bad connection.
Oh, there you are. What's up? No, it's all good, man.
We hear you.
Thought you were playing a prank on us.
Mhm.
No, I'm just kidding.
Let's go, guys. Let's go.
Good to see you, man. Very bullish on 1000X. I'm a little too bullish on it to a fault, and so that's one of the reasons I kind of try to reel it in a little bit and restrain myself from just talking about it nonstop. But if you haven't heard me talk about it, lucky you, because you get to hear me talk about it right now. We do have 1000X Sui with us on stage, and this is a project that we've been looking at for a few weeks now. Wilder had found this on her degenning adventures that she likes to do on her free time. She had came across 1000X, which we always talk about, we joke about, we make a lot of posts about, it's 1000X or nothing. And so she, one morning a couple weeks ago, she comes to me and says, "Oh, I found 1000X," and I start laughing, thinking, oh God, another one of these. And she's like, it's a bullish ticker. And she's like, I went into the TG, and there's actually people in there talking, and they talked to me, and so you hear that, and all of a sudden it's like your ears perk up a little bit, and you're like, okay, yeah, tell me more. And long story short, we're a few weeks into this now, sitting the market cap. We've had some ups and downs. Right now we're sitting at a 14K market cap, I believe, 15 days old. So we've had some, if you like volatility like I do, then this is your bag right here, and this is your entry price right here. If you like volatility, what goes up must come down, right? And so we've watched this go up and down a couple times. That's why we do this. That's why we're here, because we like to ride the wave to eternal happiness, or however you want to put it. But yeah, we're trying to get that money,
at least
dude.
get the adrenaline
Yeah.
going. And look,
Hey,
I,
yeah.
I just love that they came into the spaces, and then you come find out that it's like fellow degens, right? That just want 1000X. I mean, come on, we just want 1000X, right? And I'm about that
Yeah, and
1000X all the time. So let's
you
go.
guys, that's the kind of nature of the project too. I mean, it's this thing that's just kind of sitting, and it's sitting there, and it might not be doing much, but it's sitting there, and it's this thing, right? It's actually building a community, and it's not that valuable, but it's sitting there, and it's existing, and it's there, and then all of a sudden it's, whoa, what's that? And then before it's too late, one day, the ticker's doing its job. But any anyway, so yeah, that's kind of that is the like the nature of basically the ticker, right? And what we've launched here. But I was thinking, you guys, can we do if you guys have pretty prominent pages, do you guys do giveaways much from your own personal
I
X
do
or tick?
sometimes, usually on my own initiative, because but I'd be happy to spread the joy for you if you want.
That would be cool. It might be impactful. Maybe. I mean, we can do one. We can do one from the main X too. We don't have to necessarily. But I was just figuring maybe
if we could reach, if one of you guys were maybe down, then that could probably have some good reach.
So I've been thinking the same thing, but doing something like this, I would want it done right. I just don't want it half-assed because I don't want to waste anyone's time or money. So I
Same.
feel like,
That's why I haven't really done a giveaway
yeah,
much. I
yeah.
want it to kind of be structured. I want it to be good, but I want to do it, and so I want to invite you guys in case.
I think really developing the plan, like have even using, as lame as this is going to sound, but even using AI to help orchestrate it, to be like, how can we do this so
I
that
like
like
that
it
idea.
benefits the users, the listeners. I want it to kind of be like a win-win for like everyone for like multiple reasons. Like kind of like I'll give you an example. So Millie, they that whole Millie on Sui coin, they basically they take proceeds from the liquidity and put it towards like sheltering dogs, like homeless dogs, and getting police vests for canine dogs, and basically it's like a charity type of thing. So I'm not saying that we copy that format, but I'm saying incorporating some like philan uh like something helpful to people, or something like that, you know what I mean? Like
Totally,
um
I'm with you there.
so
I think
using
that is actually a
AI,
great idea.
yeah, using
Um,
AI to devise a plan, and then having it pushed out maybe like a couple weeks, or at least a week or 10 days or something. So like, what's today? So it'd be like the 4th of July could be a good date to call it, so that people have time to find out about the giveaway. Because there's nothing I hate more than like finding out about a giveaway that just ended, or like, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, if I had seen that, I would have wanted to participate. It's like I always find it like after the fact. So making sure that it's known about, and like taking the time to really make it, and it doesn't have to be a huge giveaway. Even if the first one we do is like a $10 giveaway, dude, I love $10 all day, like, don't get me wrong. So it doesn't have to be the biggest thing, but just getting into the process, like the rhythm of how to do it and execute it, so that one, that it's not like what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, just so that it goes flawlessly. That's a good way to put it. So
Well, here's the alpha with giveaways. You got to structure them the right way, or else, it's going to get messy and it's going to take a lot of your time.
mm,
There's a lot of people who want to scam with these things, you guys. You don't want to
yeah,
know. I
that's what
did
I'm
so
trying to
many
avoid.
giveaways that people are going to actually, even for something like 25 bucks, people are going
Yep.
to pretend to be, they're going to make a profile of the person who won, then come at you saying that you didn't transfer it to them. They're going to fud you under your comments to make you pay them out, right? It is ridiculous. So usually when I
yeah,
do
it gets messy.
giveaways, I do them live in spaces. The
Yeah.
people need to be in the spaces. I'm gonna make sure you get that money straight up, right in the space. You drop the comment with your wallet. If it's not there, you're not in space.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting nothing, right? You're not gonna
Yep.
be eligible to win. And that is just too bad that we need to go about it that way. But there is actually people who will give you a very hard time for days on end,
Yes,
trying to,
dude.
you know,
Yes, I have
uh,
people in my DM
milk you for
literally hitting.
20. Yes.
I've got somebody hitting me up for like $10. He's like, hey man, like I'll post, I'll pin one of your posts for $10, and I'm like, I mean, I like to mess with these people, so I just told him, like, dude, your profile sucks. I'm like, do you want to pay me? And then he just didn't respond. But yeah, these people hitting me up for $10 to pin my post, and they're scammers too. I get a lot of scammers. If you look on our comments on YouTube, it's comical, because almost on every
Yeah.
video, it's like, oh, I'm having trouble opening up my OKX wallet, and my seed phrase is blah blah blah. Like, can you help me? And it's like, there's
Yeah.
all these like phishing scams. It's so
Yeah.
freaking stupid.
It is
Scammers,
so
they're funny.
annoying
They
and
they
fun.
crack me. The bad
Yeah.
scammers crack me up. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
like, dude, get real, get a life.
But even the bad ones get bread, right? So
Yeah,
it's
dude,
there's
they do all
people
day.
still falling for this, right?
Yeah,
So just believe
unfortunately.
us, when we do a giveaway, we're doing it the right way, and that's why I don't you see me hardly making any posts, because usually I tackle those straight up in spaces. You come on stage, you say hi, you can win something. I mean, look, if you do not even want to do that, then I don't know, right? Because it can get ugly. And sometimes, you do all that work, and you want to bless some people with some money, with some money bags, right, or moon bags or something like that, and then there's six people making the same account as the one who won the first prize, and then they're gonna fud you for a week. So it's even worse than that, right? It's just like, Jesus Christ, now
Yeah.
you're spending money and time and energy, and you need to keep fud away for a week. Because
Yeah.
people are going to be under your post. They never paid me out. This project never paid me out.
Yeah.
And they're going
Yeah,
to
it's
be in your
messy.
DMs that pay me, pay me. And I was like,
Yeah.
my guy, the guy who won has gotten paid. You're not the guy who won, but they're going to make it seem like they are. And it's going to reflect so bad. Oh my God. I have been in
Along the
all of
way, you're
those.
like, well, this was a bad idea. This
Yeah,
was
Yeah,
right?
more
seems like
trouble. Yeah.
seems like Wild's been there, done that.
Oh
With
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
That's great. It's
Well,
good.
it's
This is
pretty
good.
well versed.
I'll just have to keep an eye out how I don't really even know how to go about structuring one.
Yeah, we can
Like you're
use
saying, I guess
AI.
we could.
I would.
AI, I like that. Okay, we'll structure that. Take and figure it
Yeah.
out, and
Well, what
So
I'm
we're
down
gonna
because
do is we're just gonna make a one space that we have, and just gonna make it 1,000x space,
all right, yeah,
and
sounds good. That let's do that.
yes, and then we're gonna just have a party, have fun, vibe out, and then everybody in the room. At some points, we will do giveaways. We'll pull you up on
Giveaways
stage,
throughout the space.
right?
Yeah, all right, that would be
Yes,
awesome, Wild.
that is better because I that is costing us maybe a little bit of energy in the moment, but saves you a headache later. Yeah,
Totally, I like
yeah.
that. That sounds good. At least for the next type of move for giveaways, that hold a space, come together. That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. Give
So,
away
yeah,
some sui, right? Yeah,
I'm.
I'm gonna
yeah,
give away some sui then in this space. I'm gonna help out with that too. So I'm gonna give away some sui. 1,000x gonna give away some 1,000x. I got other moon bags that I could do. Give a fart. We could do fart coin as well. We could do so much,
Mhm.
but we gotta
I.
do it the
I
right
could.
ways.
I have a Sui Booster DAO NFT as well.
Yeah.
That we could.
There you go.
Yeah. Wilder and I got him
So
too. I think we should have three of them
let's
between the three
promote
of
it.
us. Hell yeah. But yo, so I put it into Chat GPT. I just said, I want to do a giveaway because ChatGPT knows what's the ticker is now from me using it all the time. So it says announce the giveaway in advance. It gives like full rundowns on all this. Decide on the method. Either there's one of three secure methods that we could do: keyword drop in live chat, Google form submission, or Twitter X-based entry, retweet and watch live for code word. Oh, so using like a code word from the stream. Build a verification and distribution flow. Use a separate wallet just for the giveaway. Make it transparent by showing transactions live. Have a mod or assistant verify the address. Brief and warn viewers. Reminder, we'll never DM you first. No links in chat. Only enter through what we say live. Don't fall for fake accounts. And then showcase the project, what 1000x Sui is doing, why it matters to the Sui ecosystem. Ooh, so that's a good... So yeah, thinking about like Sui Preem and Sui Booster, kind of like the Sui ecosystem, and maybe, partnering with somebody else or like collabing with somebody else as well could be a bullish thing. More people. I know that like two's company, three's a crowd, but with something like this, having more eyes on the giveaway or having it so that it like is towards the Sui chain overall as well as 1000x, and
Right. I like
so
that. That's a
so
great idea.
and we can build on
So
this
cool.
more. Yeah. So there
Yeah,
the
yeah. Well, just us talking about it has brought this to life. And actually, I'm in pretty good contacts with Mr. Crypto over there. So
mhm.
he's all gas, no brakes. So he would probably just be as obliged as we are to partake
Yeah. Well, what about
in something
Wise
like this.
Degen? I've been DMing Wise Degen too on the back end because
Yes,
dude, I love what that dude is doing for he
Wise is great.
that guy is great, dude. And Wilder knows him, and so I've been like trying to talk with him more because I love what that guy is doing with trying to build up the Sui network and kind of like inform people, because that guy is so like bullishly delusional in that he's like, once people learn about Sui, man, like all bets are off. Like he just feels like it's like gonna be like a tidal wave or like a
Yeah.
tsunami of just
Oh
like
well,
this realization. I mean,
tsunami.
he's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
He's right,
No,
but
he's
not
right.
a lot of people don't see what he sees. So when I come across somebody like that, I'm like, ooh, like I want to stay close to this guy because they have like a good sense for these things, you know?
Well, this is what I said, right? There are some people who recognize what you need to be doing in the bear market. And that's not
Yeah,
to try and flip your bag around and just be bearish when other people are bearish. You need to be researching. You need to be on the new stuff because, Solana, looked like it came from out of the air last bull run. It
it
really
did.
didn't. People
It,
knew
dude.
before. People were on that test net. People were on who were these people catching that early?
Yeah,
And
it
I was
was
like, I'm
weird.
going to be one of these people, right? So I've
Yeah.
been in test nets. I've been in the test net of Apto Sui. I've been in the test net of CE and all these new layer blockchains coming out because I was like, look, I'm going for that next Solana.
Yeah. Well, for
And
me,
that is
my
going to
experience,
happen.
dude, it was like all of a sudden I'm transacting, I'm using these tokens that the fees were like non-existent. Going from trading meme coins on Ethereum, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, dude, if I trade this one, this is costing me like virtually nothing. Oh, and I can
Yes.
just bail on the chart after I'm up 30%. Like this is perfect, you know? And so that was my like degen realization with Solana
Yep.
until, and then I got wrecked a bunch and I was like, oh man, there's so many scammers and
Yeah,
rugs
but
on here.
look, this is what you need to know. 70% of the people leave in the bear market. These people are going to come back when things turn green.
I went
Right?
to
But
Solana
they were
in the
not in this
bear.
bear market looking for alpha. They don't know the alpha. But when you're in the bear market and you paid attention,
Yeah.
you have these front row seats on these new things that are just gonna fire up. And I've been saying it for a whole year. I was shouting in the desert. When it came to Sui, I was in space like, hey guys, look at Sui, just like I'm talking about CE right now. It's undervalued, you guys. That chart is gonna pop so hard. And people are like, yeah, but it's retracing. And I was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm buying in, right? I'm just giving you what I think, with backed up with numbers, right? And what that chain is doing, what it stands for. And so you can either hop on board or not. But I've been like yelling in the desert for a long time with this.
Yeah.
And then I was in Jake Spaces and Queen Spaces last September, warning them what was going to happen on Sui.
Mm.
And guess who are Sui Bulls right now? Jake, Rodney, Queen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Right?
crazy.
I've been in
Yeah.
their spaces for years, right?
Hmm.
I was like, you guys gotta watch your Sui. What is
Yeah.
that?
Everyone's
Right?
just like, nah,
Yeah.
nah, nah. No one wants to hear you.
Yes.
They're like, oh, that's
But
great. I'll
I'm
believe.
gonna
And
tell
then all of a
you,
sudden, when
I
it
mark
starts ripping,
I mark Sui as the next golden one for the bull run. The golden child. Right?
hmm
There's everything will catch volume, everything will pump. In all season, everything will pump harder than you can imagine.
you don't think
I promise
Sei's
you
going to
that.
outperform Sui, though, right? There's not enough volume, right?
I
It
don't
might
know. It
outperform
could.
it. Right now, it's outperforming it,
It's
isn't
a
it?
big yes.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. They're apples and oranges. So you really got
You're
to look
right.
at what the blockchain is. So,
Right. Right.
I know that a lot of people are not technical and not into that, not geeky. Like I geek out on that
Uh
stuff
huh.
all the time. So I'm in the test net going like, oh, what they're doing. What's the speed? What's the this? What's the,
hmm
looking at the validators, looking at the nodes, looking at. So
Yeah.
I'm looking at all of that stuff. And then I'm looking on in and outflows all the time, like I do with Bitcoin, right? And
Okay.
then I
Yeah.
saw slowly but surely, seeing something like Sui has the most outflow from Ethereum. So
Yeah.
this is by no mistake that I'm marking this as the golden one,
Right.
right? So there's going to be one that runs harder than the rest. There's going to be one ecosystem pumping harder than the rest, and every bull run has their little golden child, right?
Yeah.
And I think this time it's going to be Sui because consistently it got that outflow on the number one from Ethereum, second base,
Yeah.
number three Solana, number four Arbitrum, and sometimes Arbitrum on number three. And I don't know what Arbitrum is doing there. I've been researching that too because Arb was always kind of bearish for me. I don't know why, but maybe just perception, right? And maybe just in my mind. But I want to know still why it's in that top right of that outflow of Ethereum because that outflow of Ethereum is going to be so important because it's going to be Bitcoin pumping, profit staking into Ethereum. We've seen that happen already, Ethereum pumping hard. But then
hmm
the money from Ethereum went back into Bitcoin instead in the rest of the market. But when it hits
Hmm.
the rest of the market, it's number one Sui.
Damn, that's crazy to me.
So
That's
that's
so
crazy. And it's
crazy.
been doing that for months. And I was
Yeah.
like,
It doesn't
people,
make
you
any
can look this
sense.
up. You can look this up on DeFi Llama and watch it. Don't take my word
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
Go
No, I
into
believe
some
you. It's
stuff.
just it's
Yeah.
so crazy to me that a layer
Yeah.
that a 2-year old layer one is ripping like that. I mean, you got Chainlink. I'm trying to think of like a dozen other technologies, tokens, or
Yeah.
layer ones that people would be like, oh yeah, or no, Chainlink's not a layer one though, is it?
No.
Chainlink's on Ethereum. But I mean, you get what I'm saying though, that there's other options that you like. I would just intuitively think like, oh yeah, that makes sense to be number 3. You got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and something else, something not SUI, but it's like, damn, it's SUI. Like that's really bullish. That's a
Sui is
great
going to be in the top
indicator.
5.
Yeah,
That's going to be in the top
that's
5.
awesome.
And
Yeah.
now, so look, if you're, and this is why I'm just trying to hammer it down here. When we're in a bear market, there's certain things that you should take advantage of by being in the bear market, because you're suffering through the bear market. You might want to get paid at the end of this, right?
Yeah.
Am I not,
Yeah.
so
Well, you got to sell.
you want to make it make sense, because this bear market. It's not easy. It's not easy because we do not know, and we're trying to do things for the future, hopefully, right?
Yeah.
So like I said, 70% of the people leave in the bear market. They're going to come back, and they're not going to know SUI. They're going to buy green tops. That's basically what ends up happening, because they didn't do research. They're going to come back in the market, and they're going to still think Luna Classic is still hot,
Hmm.
because they left and they never engaged anymore. So they don't know the deal. So you are here in this bear market. So you are everywhere early on these new things.
Hmm.
It takes a lot of balls to be on these new things, because SUI right now, when SUI is retesting levels, that ecosystem retests harder with it. And that's because the ecosystem maybe has like what, 150 projects on there at the moment
Hmm.
that are alive. And then from there, memes in every sort of category, A, B, C, and very low cap plays. And so, volume on SUI right now is low. It's like 1/5 of Solana at the moment. But when it did these rips for these meme tokens to go to 260 mil, like Lofi,
Hmm.
yes, it only had half of the volume of Solana on chain at its height. Now,
Yeah. No,
Sui
that's where
does
it's at. The
out,
volume right now, it's
yeah.
at
But
360.
what does that
And
tell
yeah.
you? What does that tell you if that's really gaining traction and does 4 or 5? You know how many millis these market caps will be? There are maybe 150 projects on there that you can choose
Oh,
from,
right, right.
instead
Yeah.
of
And if there's
thousands, tens
300
of
million,
thousands. Yes. See what happens there?
right, then
I
that's like
mean,
10 million per
yeah.
coin.
Plus, look, I'm not trying to ditch on Solana. I hold things on Solana. I hold NFTs on Solana. I love Solana. But Solana, for me, the token itself, the native token, does not have much upside potential. I cannot see Solana doing a 10x from here.
Yeah, well, I feel like that sentiment is starting to be like realized. It's dude, when I last looked at
Well,
Solana, it was like 143. It's at 139 right now. It's just it's falling fast, you know?
yeah, but it's volatile as
It's
well. So I'm
it's
not rushing
relative.
my Solana. I have Solana in the native token. It's just that I recognize, just because I risk manage my
Yeah.
portfolio, right? But there's no 1020x on Solana itself.
Yeah.
Maybe over years, but not
Right.
this bull run, right?
Right. Yeah.
So price prediction for Solana coin itself, right, is different.
It's kind of capped. Yeah. It really can't
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah.
It kind of has a
So
ceiling.
so yeah. Well, it could do another all-time high, maybe shoot a little bit past there.
What would that even be? Is it 280? Or is it
No,
it's
hold on.
310?
I can
Let me
see
see if
Solana
I go
going
on
to.
3
I actually
months.
have it
Yeah, let's see.
mapped, but we're kind of
It's
going off topic. The upside
it's
potential in Sui is
297.
yes. So when I look at Solana's market dominance of last bull run, Solana held a market dominance of 1.6%. So 1.6% of the money in crypto was in Solana. And when I take that to Sui
Mhm.
and then do the calculations again, it means I'm looking at $40-$50 Sui.
Mhm.
Sui sits on $2.60 right now. Now, that is very bullish, right? And I was actually amazed when I made a calculation, because they have different tokenomics, see? So we cannot just do one and one thing. So I looked
Mm.
at that dominance. And so if the market favors Sui as much as it did Solana, With that 1.6%, we're looking at $40-50 SUI. Now, if I'm then being a little bit more conservative and I'm looking at the chart, I'm thinking $20-25 SUI. That's much more upside potential than, let's say, native token Solana. Also more
Yeah.
riskier.
Yeah.
So I'm not going all in by any means, right?
Mm.
It does have my preference in my portfolio for the because I want to be exposed to all that upside potential, right? I don't want to be a chain hog and just hold one thing. I want to risk manage, right? I know Solana is going to do well, but hey, I want to expose myself to things that maybe can do better, right? And
Mm.
so, and then we're looking at this the little amount of projects on Sui, utility as well as memes, you guys, in comparison to the tens of thousands that are going to have to, we're going to have to divide that volume that comes in over. I mean, that's how hard. Half of Solana on volume made Lofi pump to 260 mil.
Mm.
And from 4 mil, I somebody told me about it at 4 mil, I got in.
Damn.
And that just took a few weeks, boom,
Hold on, you
260
hit a
mil.
50x on that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I
That is
nearly
so
made
cool.
150x on Hippo. I mean, that's why I'm saying I've been trying to be like yelling in the desert, like hello.
Yeah.
And it's you
Like
guys.
there's money to
Trying
print over here,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was in Jake's and Queens and JSP space and Rodney, right? I was telling them about Sui last year. I was like, you gotta watch your Sui, go into that ecosystem, get some and of course it's when you play nano cap, right? It's like, yeah, you should stop watching the chart because you need to just wait for the volume to come to the native token. That's where it happens. When Sui breaks resistance and it's taken its resistance back on $3, that whole ecosystem will be having like a little party. When Sui goes in blue skies in price discovery, everything on there will pump sky high.
Dude, this is crazy. I just came across something that I I didn't tell anyone about it, but I invented this like 8 months ago. I was
Mm-hmm.
because I had watched. Oh my! So it's called H2O DAO. So if it, I haven't done too much research on it yet, so I'm not sure if it's exactly what I had came up with. But I had watched something on YouTube about like the water crisis in America, how in like
Mm-hmm.
Michigan and in certain parts of America, like they don't have clean water in their pipe systems and stuff. And I was thinking, I remember I was talking to some people about this. I was like, damn, what if you had like a project, like a token that basically, was a charity type thing that worked towards fixing this water crisis that there's parts in America where people don't have clean running water. And I was like, that's messed up. And I was like, why don't people that are like hire like Elon Musk, he wants to send people to Mars. I'm like, why doesn't he want to fix the water crisis in America? I'm like, that's messed up that kids are dying in poor parts of the country because they don't have access to clean water and stuff like that. And so anyway, that's what this H2O DAO looks like. It says it addresses the water, different water systems in different areas, Ohio, Nebraska. So H2O America. So this H2O. So this is like the number one trending token right now. H2O DAO. I mean, it's up 82.6%. But if this is like what it looks like to me, I'm like, that is so freaking cool because I was just thinking the same thing like not that long ago when I was watching some documentaries about the water crisis here. So it's a H2O DAO is a cryptocurrency that, let me see, I want to find out the complete like white paper for it. But anyway, I just wanted to bring this up because it's up a
Yes.
buttload
It would be
today.
something for the water chain. Maybe we should, take that conversation back into the TG,
Yeah.
because I wanted to do something with YouTube. On YouTube, there's a lot of people out there in the world that are building swales, that are building ponds naturally on the land and stuff, and
Uh-huh.
they try to revive desert. There's actually people in Arizona doing this, right? Reforesting desert that has been deforested, and these deserts are just expanding because of it, and they want to do something about it. And I was like, how cool would that be to bring crypto and help out with that, like really have a function in the real world, right? Really really do something about these deserts just expanding and changing. They change the local climate because there's no shade, and there's this ecosystem, animals getting lost, and it's kind of, there's people who are willing to do something about it. I think that's remarkable. I think they deserve some support too, and they have millions of followers, so that can be a good deal, right, to bring these together. But yeah, we just gotta brainstorm a little bit about it. I
Mm-hmm.
am full-time Web3. At the end of this month I'll be full-time Web3, so I have tons of ideas on how we can connect dots, and ideas that I developed over the years. Of course, I do coding myself, so making something custom for that would be okay for me to do, right? And I'm learning how to code on Sui Move, because I kind of was like, felt like maybe I'm so bullish on it. Maybe I should learn more about the coding part as well. So I kind of did that, and it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of nice to build on there. At least the coding language is very much doable, you guys. If you want opportunity, I'm by no means Einstein at all, right? So to go ahead and go into the Discord, because you can actually get funded by them if you have a good idea, and they will, the whole teaching with the coding. There's boot camps that you can sign up for, and you even can get backing for that. So opportunity is everywhere. If that's you, go ahead and make it known, be loud about it, right? uh, and you'll be able to work in Web3. There's a lot of developers that's going to be needed in crypto. That is just going to be a thing. So I think it would be, if you have affinity towards that, you can make a good living for a long time with this, because that building will not stop on crypto. So don't think that you missed the train there by any means, right? This whole crypto thing being now, adopted in the real world, that is going to demand a lot more builders too. So I think good job opportunity there, if you're looking for something other than to reply all day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but bullish on Sui for that. And I know I might sound like a little bit delusional here, but just do your own research.
Yeah.
Look at the numbers. Look at the numbers, in and outflow. See what's happening. Sui is a US recognized token, right?
Yeah.
They got that down. That team is relentless too. So they are really focusing outside of crypto, and that's something. That's why they have a little bit more of my love, because a lot of blockchains are focusing more on the ecosystem of crypto and people who know crypto already. And Sui is really saying like, no, we want people to use Sui without knowing they're using Sui, and that is bullish, because that's what we need to board more people. So, or at least one of the things that need to happen, you guys.
Mm.
Also, these liquidity pools, I've studied that too. So on Solana, what I saw early on Solana with coins there, when Solana was, young Solana and did its exits, these pools were heavily pumped too, and they pumped past market caps, driving these market caps. And I see the same unfolding for Sui, right? So let's take 1000X here. It has, I don't know, the liquidity. Maybe we looked it up. Well, it's a let's say it's 15K market cap and there's 5K liquidity, and Sui does a 5x or a 10x. That liquidity is now more than a market cap, and that only happens on young chains that still need their pump, that still need to do the X's, and it will drive their market caps. It will actually turn green on the chart. It's very crazy how this works.
Mm.
So that means that even if you dare and your bag is down 50%, just because the LP is in Sui, you will hold value, right? So
Mm.
look that up, research that. Don't take my word for it. Just go ahead and figure, that how that all works. Go ask Grok if you
Yeah.
AI. I love AI for this sort of stuff, right? We don't need to do much figuring out ourselves anymore. You can just ask, and so yeah, just if you see it, you see it. You cannot unsee it. I can't unsee it. I'm buying everything there.
Yeah. We do have the gemstone rewards
Yes.
crew in the house. I see BK's back in here with us, and
I called them on stage before.
Oh,
I
okay.
saw Jem was in here, and I called them on stage because after all this Sui talk, we might want to show some love to Solana again.
Well, yeah,
Because we
that
love Solana too. I love tokens; they're really good tokens on Solana, you guys. And
the
I know that might seem like a contradictory in terms, but um, it's not. There is good stuff to be found on Solana. There are good communities out there. There are tokens with utility that are really fire, and you need to look at them, right? Because it's not only, it may seem and it may be really loud, all these pumps and dumps, so you
mm,
may not be seen that much or overlooked, right, because of that. But they're there, and we're here to always give them a platform, because as if it's something is bullish, has utility, uh, but sometimes it doesn't have utility. Sometimes it's just a good meme, but it has like an awesome community behind it. I mean, come on, you cannot ignore those. You got to give these people a microphone and a platform. So welcome, Gems. If you're here, we are. What did we mint on the
the
for
gem tards.
Gem tarts?
Yeah.
I got gem tarts.
Yeah. So,
I'm
but yeah,
sharing.
this has been the MVP of the week.
Mhm.
I mean, this thing ripped. It was like 66%, I think, 2 days ago, and then some people took some profits. We had one big fat clip right there yesterday, but the chart is showing great stability. I mean, the price impact has been very minimal. So it's like people that were early took some profits, made some money. But however, the entire chart hasn't been dumped. We are still sitting at a 434K market cap. So there's still plenty of liquidity to go around. The entry point right now is, we're sitting right under the half mil market cap. So honestly, I do think it might pull back a little bit for a while. So you might want to wait for entry, or start a DCA strategy, and you start accumulating, because by holding Generate Endless Money, the ticker is GEM, you do receive rewards that are based on the volume of transactions. And so there's been days where every like 20 seconds I'm getting a notification that I'm getting transferred fractional USDC. So you do receive your rewards in the form of airdrop rewards. You don't have to do anything else in order to be eligible other than just holding the token. As well as that, they do have an NFT collection as well that is available to mint on Launch My NFT, the Gem Tards collection. So if you go on to Launch My NFT, pull up the Solana network, and you go ahead and go to Gem Tards. You want to search in the search bar in your top left. That'll pull up the Gem Tards collection, which started May 29th. So this is a new collection. It's 59% of the way sold. So we're at 148 out of 250 mints have been minted. So really sick collection. There's not much I can't say about this. If you're looking for a great community with some hilarious NFTs that you can rock as a profile picture, and a token that you can hold on the Solana network and not worry about it just going to dust, I do think that this is a very bullish project. And talk to some of the team members if you have any questions about what's going on, like what's their experience with the community, and like what are these guys doing on the daily basis, and are they showing up into spaces and talking about what they're doing, so it's a really cool CTO. This community has decided to take over this project and run with it, and the distribution is coded. It's a great reward system, so check it out, do your own research. And what else?
Well, we got some people on stage with us
Oh,
from Gem.
sick.
I just want to
Cool.
make it clear to everybody that we never get paid by any project, right? So just know this, right? We find things out. If we're bullish, we'll grab a bag or we mint whatever, and that's up. But always do your own research. But like I said before, I love giving uh, communities at least a chance, a platform, a microphone, a loudspeaker if we can. right, help in any way, because especially on Solana, it's so hard to build community, to stay grinding, to keep it alive, to keep the spirits high in the team and the community itself, right? Because it can be really challenging on there. So you just want to help out a little bit with that. So with that being said, let's welcome some people here. Okay, can you do the honors while I'll...
Oh yeah, absolutely. BK, do we got you up on stage with us? How you doing?
Yeah, good man. I just want to say you guys hit it pretty much on point. I don't think I have to say much after everything you guys have said. More or less too, though. Yeah, we've all kind of been here since day one. We did CTO, like you said. We still work alongside with the dev day to day, updating everything. He loves all of the ideas that we put out to make this thing better. And we're literally trying to make this like a diamond bank. So most of us, and we've done a consensus, we own most of the supply. And like you guys have said, there was some consolidation here going on. But we feel like at this point we're on a bullish uptrend from here. We own, like I said, most of the supply, and we're building this like a business to see it go to 100 million, 200 million once we get into that bull market, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, pump the bags, bullish, bullish. Also, I'd like to, you just said NFT mint as well, you guys, right? You got to pay some attention to that as well. Can you do that, Tick?
Yeah.
You are about all about the minting.
Yeah, so on the launchmynft.io website, you can pull up the gem stoners collection. Actually, has already been minted. So, but if you are craving a gemstoner, you can go on Magic Eden, and don't worry, because you can go ahead and buy a gemstoner if you crave one, if that's what your heart desires. Let me see. I'm trying to connect her now.
I don't know if you also said too, we do have a 20 soul giveaway. So make sure you guys come and interact with us and let us know,
Oh, that's what it was. See, I've heard
Mm.
TikTok, TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok,
There you
uh,
go.
about Gem, and I was like, "There's something missing." There was something with these NFTs that was bullish, and I'm glad you touched on that. There's actually a 20 soul giveaway. It's ridiculous. The
Yeah, that's
amount to go
crazy.
interact, engage, max engage with that, right? That is an offer one cannot refuse. I couldn't refuse. Let's go.
Yes, yes. And what are the details on the 20 soul giveaway again? Let me pull up the. If you go on X, you go to Gemstone Rewards. Gemstone Reward, forgive me, not plural. So Gemstone Reward, it will pull up their Twitter page. On there, we have, let me see, where is the 20 soul giveaway? I know I've seen it. Oh man, yeah, it's so cool though. The Gemstone Reward page though, it's like you can see how active the community is. When you look at the X page, you see so many posts, so many like unique images, so much content being created behind this, and like I see how active the team is and stuff, and like that's a very bullish indicator. Seeing that there's conviction and passion about a project, and just look at the ticker. The ticker goes so hard. Gem, it doesn't really get better than that. It doesn't. And look at like what was the one? Generate endless. No. The infinite money glitch. IMG. What a lame ticker, and that one still is doing so well because of all the KOLs and money behind it. But the ticker is not as good as infinite money glitch.
Nope.
Yeah, I
No,
don't think
it's
so.
a good lore. It's a good lore, and so yeah, let's just welcome everybody on YouTube and on X live stream as well. If you're in this space, just know that we are live streaming on YouTube and X at the same time that we're holding this space. So people can actually see you being in the room here, have visuals. So when Tick is talking about these things, he's actually pulling up all these visuals that are then seen on the live streams, right? So we're not just pumping your bag here in this space. We give the visuals because some people are just more visually inclined, and we actually have a lot more viewers on the X live stream and YouTube. So let's welcome these people too. Right, I sometimes forget to do that. I'm sorry if I do that, right? But I recognize you, and you're so welcome in our space or the live stream. When we like a shill, when it's really really good, right? We actually make you assured that we can then send to Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube, right? Because we're over there as well with What's the Ticker. We have our own website. We are building this space out into a bigger platform, because I feel that this space needs it, right? We need something, a platform for communities to go to be seen and heard. And I love to do that. I'm in this space already. I do not need anything else. I'm a trader myself, as a profession, so I do future trading. So this is not my meal ticket by any means, but I just love it because this space needs it. There are too many rugs out there, and there is some good stuff, and we need to filter through, and you need to have a microphone too, because I think it's ridiculous that they need to spend a ton of the budget to get that, to basically outscream the things that are low quality out there. So that's just where I come from with all of this, and I know Tick is having that same um, underpinning why we do things, but he's like the our creative genius. So yeah, shout out to you, Tick. I love you. Anyway,
Thanks. And that reminds me, S&P 500, him came through yesterday, and I forget who was here. It was like 2 days ago. S&P 500 was here as well. They
yes,
kind of gave us a little brief intro to the project, and
yeah,
then yesterday we looked at it a little bit more. And yeah, if you look at what the project is doing, they're doing something that they're addressing something that's missing in meme coins, and something like this is been kind of like always on the horizon, and some other projects have attempted to do something similar, but it looks like what is going on with SP 500 is a lot of very
yeah.
bullish indicators with this
Can I
project.
just
Hmm.
interject before we
Please.
move over there? Because I saw somebody else hopping on stage. I like to talk to, and
Yes.
I also want to make it known that from now on, I think every Sunday will be our space where projects can join, and then Tick is going to help you out. We're going to go to your Twitter and maybe your content and see if we can give you some advice on how to build content using free tools or less expensive tools. Already Alpha is with that, right? Because sometimes that's hard in the space to find, at least at decent prices too. And so we can really help projects out with this as well. And we're just going to have to reserve the Sunday space for all of that, because that tends to take up a little bit more time. So no market talk there on Sundays. We'll just be here for the projects to look at content, and also how to behave on X, how to look for that engagement. What is bearish? What is bullish there? Also multi-social, so not just on X, but also on TikTok, also on Instagram. Right, how to get the views in, how to pump the bags there. So I'd like to welcome Jay, because Jay came on stage and I don't know Jay yet. So I'm going to say good morning, Jay,
Oh,
or
we
good
know
evening,
Jay.
wherever you are.
Yeah.
Do I know Jay? I
Yeah,
know you, Jay.
NFT energy drinks and QUAKEY fam.
Oh, yes. Well, Jay, you will just have to excuse Wild here. My days are pretty much wild. And so I have a short. If somebody also changes their PFP, I'm completely caught off guard there too. So if that's not helpful either. So, but yeah, Jay, you're on stage. How you doing?
I was thinking the same thing because I'm following you. We're not following each other, but I had to think about it. I think I might have been under the Quakey account when I initially joined this space,
Yes.
so that's
Yes.
probably where that stems from.
Yes,
Um,
right. Very helpful that Tick informed me, because that is usually where I blunder a lot, is with people's names and then the profile pictures. If it doesn't add up for me, I totally glitch.
no, it's all good. I just want to say thank you, first and foremost, for letting me up to speak, and then secondly, I want to say thank you for the solid advice that you gave us on the last time I was on your space. I'd asked a question about
a particular post that I made, and you gave me some advice as far as not being too wordy, always showing the charts, and I started to do that with the Quakey official account, and it
Yes.
had a lot of great results from it. A lot has come, um, and along with other things that we're doing on the back end. But you gave some real solid advice, and I shared it with the community going forward that we need to zoom out, and show the overall chart, not just what's going on for the month or for the week or for the day, but completely zoom out and show where we were, where we're going, and where we're at now. And I think, like you said, saying less is saying a lot more. People are going to be tapping on the links and doing their research and getting a better overview with like looking at the chart. So big shout out to you, Wild, and big shout out to you, Tick, because you know you do what you do as far as the streaming and making those social media clips and all that. You both do it very well. Dojino Dogs, some of the members have been following the Quakey account and have been tapping in. So I just wanted to say thank you to you both and everyone in the space. Uh,
Uh,
this has been an awesome day, an awesome week, awesome month, awesome year, and yeah, I'm here for it.
Awesome. Yeah, it
Well,
looks like the
thank you.
Quakey
Thank you
chart.
so much.
Quakey chart's ripping today. It's up 30%
Yeah.
today. That's awesome to see. Um, let's see. I
It's the
still
number one for a project, the number one marketing tool. So please, if you're a project, come join us on Sundays where I can really help you out with this. Is based on experience, having been a part of projects along the way for years now. What works and what does not, right? What deserves your energy, because it can be energy draining to be in a team, to lead a project, right? It can actually, a lot of people don't even want to do it because it gets depressing, right? And but there's a rhyme and reason to this. And like I said, marketing tool number one, the chart, zoom out, make people look at things and see if that's something that they want to buy. But just overall, if you're not bullish on it, you cannot expect other people to be bullish on it, right? And you need to be bullish on that chart, whether it's up or down, right? Because down, the other side from down is up. So you cannot only show green candles. This is not the way it works. Some people like to buy a floor. I like to buy floors, not green candles. So show that charts, post them often, incentivize your community to do so often, right? And do so a little bit on a higher time frame, so people see like, all right, this is actually, if it rips, they see where it was before, and so they can calculate their access, right? And usually that will also bring in some community there. So yeah, Jay, I'm glad you did that and it worked out well for you. Let's go.
yes, and you know what? I want to get a better clip. The last time I reviewed the footage, I wasn't able to find something that was a concise like 30 seconds that just clearly kind of states what's going on. So let's get like a quick 30 to 45 second with some visual just to
Yes.
kind of showcase what's going on with Quaker right now so that people can kind
Yep.
of
Can we
yeah.
do that? And then the next speaker will be him.
Mm.
I see BK had his hand up, so please, yeah, interject because you might have a question I want to add to what we're talking about right now.
Oh, and one more thing, Jay. I don't know who is the who runs the deck screener, but on deck screener, when you click on website, the URL is incorrect. It takes you to quackeycryptoduck.com. On your, it's actually quakeycoin.com. So I just wanted to point out on your deck screener, the website address is inaccurate. So you guys want to change that.
Cool.
Jay.
BK, you had a comment. You had your hand up.
Yeah, yeah. Before I step down and go, I just want to say thank you guys very much for having me up, letting me speak about Jim, and as well, um, show all the love for S&P. I will say I pretty much consider this our sister community. So, very bullish on both projects. So, thank you guys very much.
Thank you so
We
much.
do too. Sorry to speak out of line, but Jim, we love you guys too, and I even bought your NFT because of that. You guys are the best.
Hell yeah.
See, love is happening in the space, you guys, and on the live stream as well. Love you, good. Love you too. So yeah, let's give the mic then to him. If you're on stage, you're more welcome to hang out on stage as long as we don't get too crowded. That's all good. You can just stage front. That's how we call it. Yes, him. Good morning. How you doing? You already talked for a little bit, but let's hear it.
Good morning. As you can hear from the sounds, I'm at the gym right now. And just to say that I can chill, but the reason I came up here more than anything was to show support because you guys have been doing the show for a while now. I know because I've hopped on a few times and I really appreciate what you guys are doing. And I wanted to, see what time it was on Sunday because I want to attend that to get some advice on how we could help. And for those of you who don't know what S&P is, S&P 500 is very simple. We're a rewards token through and through. Every hour, you get multiple rewards. You either get the defaults or the customs. Defaults if you hold between 20,000 and 99,000. Customs if you hold 100,000. Defaults are chosen by the community. Customs give you access to the meme folio, which Tick and Wild, I know you two have seen. Essentially, think of that as like your stock portfolio for memes. You can choose Giga, Fartcoin, whatever. And the best part is you can pick between 1 to 5 memes. You can get rewarded all in on Giga, or you can pick Giga, Fartcoin, SPX, etc. And we also do USDC, wrap Bitcoin, wrap Ethereum, and as of last week, wrapped XRP. And a quick shout out that has nothing to do with S&P 500. I love the gem community. If you guys aren't following BK Gemstoner, please follow him and Gemstone, which is the main account of the gem community. And yes, we are. That is our sister or brother community because genuinely they've shown nothing but love for us. And we had our space today, which is our community spaces, and Gem showed up in drones. We appreciate that. Tick and Wild, we also invite you to come to our spaces anytime. You two are both not only welcome, but we'll be given the mic. And that's pretty much all from me. We are working on Tick's advice for better visuals. So unfortunately for today's live stream, I don't have anything new, but you could do visuals of the beam folio if that helps. I do apologize for not having something prepared. We've just been busy, but actually tomorrow, I'm hoping to hear more advice on how we could do better.
You're
Yeah.
more than welcome. It's gonna be the regular time for us. You guys so bullish. It's always just in the gym, chilling the project, right? I mean, look, that you got a leg up with me already, because I'm up till 3 months ago, I was a professional athlete, and like I said, I'm moving over into being full-time Web3. But I recommend everybody start doing their workouts, start doing something with your body, start moving. We're not meant to sit, right? So I'm bullish on everybody who does, and I'm extra bullish on the ones that are just in space while they're doing it, right? So, yeah, bullish on you for the. You don't always need to come prepared with stuff. You're more than welcome to be on stage and just be on stage and show your project anyway. Yeah, go ahead.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Real
You know what?
quick.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you had a chance to check out the clip from yesterday's show, but what I did was I went ahead and added some kind of like effects and transitions to just make the video pop a little bit more, so that as people are scrolling, maybe they slow down and say, "What the hell is this?" And so I was kind of stoked with the result of the chopped up clip. I don't know if you had a chance to see that, but I posted it on. It should be on all platforms. Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, as well as TikTok under the handle TickWeb3. But yeah, the S&P 500. I'm gonna double check that I put it on all three platforms yesterday while I was like working.
I think I retweeted and favorited it.
Nice.
I retweeted something from you that you posted here
Yeah.
on X.
Yeah.
It is only on X that I operate, but I do think I did that. If not, I'll go through your profile. The
Sick.
reason I put my hand up is because even though I'm going to hop off because I do want to focus on the workout, would you and Wild mind if I sent you SNPs to show you how the tech works? It's yours to keep. It's free. Just as a measure of generosity, because you guys have been so kind to me, and B, because I want you to see how the tech works. And C, you can say no if you're like, you think I'm sketchy or whatever. I'm not going to take offense to it. It's your wallet.
I did get some yesterday. I got myself some, but yeah, I mean, here I'll the wallet address for my Solana.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Sir.
Yeah, I did get.
And let me just finish here. I'll take I want to say 30 to 40 minutes, but Wild, that goes to you too. If you send it to me, I'll send both of you enough S&P to use the meme folio.
Very sick. Bullish. Yeah, thank you. That is so cool. Yeah, that's great. What's the ticker? You are in with the TG with us. I just dropped my H2 is the Solana in the TG. But yeah,
Oh,
that is,
you want me to drop the TG on the? Hold on, let me drop it on the TG real quick. The ticker.
for S&P 500.
You and of course we
Yes,
like to
yes.
and but too, but it's right. But Shady will get it.
Ooh, are you rugging on us, Wilder? Or are you good?
Sorry.
You were rugging for a second.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're good now though. And so
Yes, I'm rugging hard.
you're rugging hard. Ooh. Let me see. So, and then who else did we have up next? It was Jay Connects. Or I don't know. Well, we already talked to Jay, but I wanted to get a clip though, and then there was somebody else as well, I believe. Forgive.
I just wanted to
Mhm.
say, I just
Yeah.
tapped into the chat that I'm with Blockwake. The CEO of the exchange is coming out the end of the year. I did bring up to their attention about the logo on deck screener not matching the Twitter logo that we have
No,
on Twitter,
it's a URL too. Yeah, yeah. The block quake
and
logo too,
all of
though.
that,
Yeah, yeah, yep, yep.
all
I
of that,
noticed
all of
that.
that. So all of that, and I appreciate you saying that. So I just tapped into the chat that I'm part of, and they're working on it since yesterday. So
Sick.
it's funny you say that, and I checked the chat to to let them know what's going on, and they're already on it. They're already on it. So
Nice.
good news,
I
good
like
news.
to
Yeah.
I like to point things like that out just because you know, if you're like me and you're like when you vet projects on the deck screener like I used to and stuff like Solana projects, that's one thing you know, looking at the TG, the website, and the Twitter to see, you know, did this team actually take some time to develop anything on the back end, you know, because there's nothing scarier than a really bullish ticker or whatever, but there's like no website or no Twitter or like just very like obscure uh, things to kind of like associate it with it, and you can't, you know, really determine whether or not it's legit. Dude, it's happened to me, and I mean, there was one time, fuck, dude, what was it? Cognalize was the name of it, and the website and everything, man, it looked spectacular. Like the artwork, the animations, the website was just very like concise and like broken down, very like clear about what it was doing. And bro, I totally just got drained. Well, yeah, go ahead, him. What was that?
Yeah, yeah. Let me just
Oh,
get off what they had mentioned to me
mm-hmm.
here. It says Quakey will be disappearing from deck screener for a short time. Whitelist, we gain control over it. I spoke with deck screener support, and they'll delete the current listing, but you can still get Quakey on Jupiter, Radium, and Meteora. So everything will be updated. They're gonna pay to update everything. Just for a short time, it's gonna be off of deck screener until it's
Mm.
fully taken over
Mm-hmm.
for that. Yeah, update for that, guys.
Cool. And then, do you want to real quick give me a rundown? Why is the Quakey chart ripping so crazy? Why is it performing so well right now? Do you have anything to?
Um,
So crazy.
yeah,
That's an understatement. That's just like a god candle there.
Yeah, yeah, it's absolutely
I just saw
freaking
that chart
nuts,
and look
dude. I
like
was
this.
like, what the hell is going on with
Earthquake.
this? Yeah. What's
well,
this seismic
well,
shift?
absolutely. So a lot of things are happening. Like the last time we spoke, we talked about it being the 1 year anniversary for Quakey, but more so than that, um, the CEO of Blockwake actually helped to write a bill, and this bill was sent up. You know, I can't talk too much about what bill it was, but we know of bills that were passed this month. I'm not sure what NDAs were signed and what have you. It hasn't been discussed as far as what the bill was, but we know that's a thing. And then we also know that today in the Bronx, at literally 49 minutes ago, it started. There is a workshop with Vita TV and Bronx Crypto, and I was supposed to be there, but I already made my presentation. So that will be presented today alongside with Apollo down there, who's also a founder of the Quakey NFT collection, his own NFT collection. I have mine, the Quakey on the Rise collection. So we're both talking about NFTs and our part in the ecosystem of Quakey, and Stu Kwan and Bronx Crypto and Vita TV are talking about blockchain technology and metaverse to, I guess you would say, a bunch of normies, people that don't know anything about crypto, but they're going to be at this at the Huntington Free Library in the Bronx, and there's going to be a few other people there to witness this. Uh, it's happening right now. I'm looking for the stream at this moment in time. I can't find it at the moment, but um, this has been talked about. Also, there's a news article that dropped yesterday from the Bronx Daily News. I can put that in the comment section down below. And then also this month is the month that we talked about going to space with Genoplant, giving us the opportunity to be a part. What does that mean exactly? Genoplant, they have samples, DNA samples, they have cannabis seeds that they're sending to space on the Falcon 9 SpaceX rocket. Big shout out to Seth Rosen and the Wake and Blake community because they talked about it on that space and people bought their seats early on. NFT projects bought their seats, but it wasn't just for NFTs. It's like I said, there's a wide range of different things just in the space. What's interesting is enough is that the seeds, the cannabis seeds that are going into space, will be returning. I think this might be the first rocket. Don't quote me on that. That will be doing this. They'll be going to space and bringing it back. So there's a partnership with DigiJoints and Genoplant to actually grow these seeds that are going into space and returning. But they offered up seats for anyone that was interested in actually taking their music NFTs, the MP4s, the art pieces, and buying these tickets and sending them, putting them on ledgers and sending them three trips around the earth into space. So just really being on there, putting our logo, the Quakey on the Rise logo, the Quakey on the Rise music NFT logo, Apollo's logo of his collection as well, Moonsters, of course, Wake and Blake, Digi Joints, Death Apes. A lot of different projects are on this rocket that that will be launched tomorrow and will be streamed. So what I'm talking about isn't like going to happen. I mean, I'm not going to happen. Isn't speculation, I should say, but it's things that were talked about maybe back in like February, and it's actually happening. So that on top of what's happening today, on top of what happened yesterday, um, because I would say maybe what's today, Saturday? I would say yesterday we went up 100,000 market cap. We were at like maybe like roughly 80K, not 80K, 120. We're about 120K. Then we went to like 284. Then we came back down to about 250, and then casually looking at my phone, I saw like 330. So it's compounding on top of what we've been doing for the past 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
It was about 50K a few days before I launched Quakey on the Rise NFT collection.
Mm.
The collection dropped on the 14th of March, and you can look at the charts and see the dates of when it actually shot up. It shot up maybe like 3 days after, 4 days after that, when people caught wind of what the collection was about. So I hope that answers your question. I may sound a little long-winded, but
Yeah.
the dates all match up with what we did. We had also the duck race out here in Connecticut, me and Apollo, where we did our own event, and it was a bunch of rubber duckies that were dropped in the river, and it had nothing to do with crypto. But we took that event, we took advantage of that event because we both have duck collections of our own digital art, and we just told them that we were selling digital art. We didn't talk about NFTs necessarily. We did mention metaverses and stuff like that, but we just sold them on the website and the art. And then, we did talk about digital collectibles. And because we felt like it would have been a lot to talk about because they only came there to you know contribute, donate for the town, not expecting us to be there, but now they want us to come back every Wednesday and talk about crypto, talk about NFTs because they're looking for the youth to get involved and they think this will be a great way. So like little things like that, literally throwing darts against the wall, doing things that most people aren't doing in the space, and not just in the space but also IRL, is how we got to this point.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. Hold on. I had something written down, but not written down enough, so I can make sense of myself at this point. Oh, Jesus Christ! It's really getting late for Wild here, you guys. It's been a long day. Yeah. Hold up. Take save me here. Just
Yeah.
I written something
Um.
down here.
Yeah.
I can
Something
I
I
So
can
need.
I can also add that we went to John Jay University in April and did exactly what they're doing today in the Bronx. I can add that
mm,
as well. That was my
very
first
nice.
time present. Yeah, that was my first time presenting in front of that many people, suit and tie, um, and talking about blockchain
And they're
and NFTs.
non crypto native audience, right? Or are they there
Yeah,
for a crypto? Did you say it's
no, no,
Bronx
no.
crypto?
Bronx Crypto is the event today. Bronx Crypto is an individual,
Mm-hmm.
and that's his name. And Vida TV, they
Oh.
created an event for today. But I was referring to when we went to John Jay University. It
Yeah.
was a tech affair. It was a tech affair. So
Okay.
it wasn't an NFT. And that's what I think what's working for us is that we're not going to NFT crypto related events.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to non crypto related events, and we're talking about NFTs and crypto. So
Yeah.
we're standing out amongst many normies, if you want to call them normies,
Right. Right.
and that's helping us out.
Right, trying to onboard people is always great, and I see your community
Right.
seems to do that a lot. I've seen people in spaces that basically are talking about their experience in Web3 and how basically they found QUAKEY and it's what kind of captivated them, and like now they are basically um, they're involved in the whole culture of the lifestyle of logging on to Twitter to find the latest alpha. Um, yeah, that's there's and the other thing that is very that I will say that's great that you guys are doing is the boots on the ground. You guys are showing up at events. You guys got big old like banners and flyers and stuff like decorations or whatever things for your booths to signal to people that hey, like look, there's something going on over here and like come check it out. So the fact that when you see that in crypto, you see an actual real life force that's creating momentum. That's always such a great sign, and you guys are still so early in doing that, and so that's always important to remember that you guys are I know that you're a year in now, and you guys are still maintaining that passion that you had in the beginning. It looks like that even more so because it seems like that guy that whoever it was that burned you guys really bad, that dumped, who was one of the early holders that just annihilated the chart. That kind of like even made you guys work even harder. Like, okay, well, we have to fight this uphill battle, go against the stream because now you have all this negative sentiment around the project. I'm talking about the early days. But whenever that happens to a chart, no one wants to buy into a chart that just got wrecked unless they have some foresight and they kind of understand these things a little bit better. And they can kind of determine that, by vetting the project
Yes,
themselves, but sorry.
exactly, and that is why it's good to learn that, right? To distinguish first of all why it happened, right? And then you can take a bullish position, because if it was one of these what I call always dump money, because this is the only way for people to shit on a chart like that is because they don't know how else to sell, and there is a better way to sell.
Yeah.
There is a better way to sell that does not have you shit on your own bags nor the chart, and you can add single sided liquidity, get one price for every coin that you own instead of selling with a price impact of 20, 30%, or even 50%, causing you to lose 50% of profits, right? So it's very dumb to sell that. And I just don't want to be derogatory like that, but I kind of have to, because it's just they don't know how to sell any other way. And people who are known to trade with a lot of money do know how to sell, because I want to sell every token that I have for the price that I want, right? And so when you add it to single sided liquidity, it will not show up on the chart. It will be bought from your pool, and you get every for that price that you set, every token will be sold for that price range that you give it. Right. And so it doesn't have to be like this, right? It doesn't have to be like this. So If you have a whale group in your uh, project, teach them, right, how to do this. First of all, teach yourself, learn yourself how to do this, because it's not just bullets for the projects, it's self preservation here too, right? I'm keeping my own bag intact. And of course, if I sell like 20% of my bag, and that's having an impact on the chart, the other tokens that I still hold are now going to be worth less too. So it's kind of like, and it's not putting yourself in a non-winning situation as a holder. So put yourself in a winning situation, learn how to add single-sided liquidity, so you can sell through a liquidity pool, right? It's kind of what Trump did with Trump token.
Mm-hmm.
And the chart will still look intact this way. So
Right.
it's a win-win. So you can do that win-win situation. So if you have like a whale group, then try and incentivize these people. Have a little video out maybe on how to do that, or direct them to a little video that tells them how to do that, so they will not, right? Anyone can exit. You can sell. There's no sell shaming, but please try and do it in a little bit of a responsible way for your own bags, for your own sake, right? As well as the project that you're exiting out of, right?
Mm.
Don't be a douche.
Yeah, we saw that
Yeah.
this week with 1000x also. It happened to a few
Yeah.
charts this week, and that's kind of when, when times get bearish, you will see some people just hit the abort switch, and they're probably going to bail for the next
Well, the
couple.
people who do that were looking for a quick flip.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
so
long-term
that's
holders,
the
right?
nature of
So
the game,
that's the nature of the
We
things.
all
Yeah.
signed up for this. Like
Yeah.
so when I see somebody apologized to me the other day for a different token, I don't want to call anyone out, but they're like, yeah, like basically like, sorry about that. Somebody that was an early holder, they had dumped, and like it just totally like ruined the chart, and I was like, yeah, no, a 66% pullback is completely normal on Solana. Like I was like completely unfazed. I've seen like 95% pullbacks on
Well,
Solana,
sometimes
so
in the initial rally, it's usually the snipers, right? They
yeah.
they get the biggest bags and stuff, so you
Yeah.
kind of have to wait till they come out. But a lot of people don't understand what's going on,
Right.
and they start to jump on that panic train when that happens.
I was
and
like, I
and
bought more,
and I can
dude. What?
understand that, right? I mean, I can
Yeah.
understand. Not everybody knows. You should not expect anybody to
True.
know.
True.
It's just that if you are supporting, especially a project, and you are known as a supporter, then I think it's always good for you to sell this way, because you're getting
Yeah.
the most amount for your what you hold, right? So it makes sense in that way. It's
Yeah.
self-preservation, but it can be a win-win situation. So if you
Right.
have like a whale group, then don't expect them to know. Educate on how to add single side liquidity, and it might take maybe 2 days to get all of their money in then, but at least, depending on volume, but at least it's a win-win situation, and we can actually do that, right? So
Mm.
it's not uh, rocket science at all. It's pretty easy to do. It takes 5 minutes to set up, and you will sell on auto, so you don't even have to watch it, right? You will get that price for every token.
Hey, you can't open up a liquidity pool on Moonbags, can you?
Now then you have to just go to, well, we can
What?
we can do that in another space, because now I kind of need to go.
I gotta
No,
wrap it
you
up
can
too.
add,
Yeah. Yeah.
no, it's not Moonbags. The Moonbags has nothing to do with this.
Okay. Yeah. But
Yeah.
can
Yeah,
you open a
that's not
liquidity
the,
pool with 1000x anywhere then?
yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
where
anywhere.
you'd have to do it on an
Anybody,
exchange
any
then?
look. No,
No.
you go to the V3 or the V4 for it, right? Whatever they
Uniswap.
got. So, well, no, they have the ones for Sui as well. If the
Mm.
Where's the liquidity pool at?
For
Is the
like,
liquidity pool on
oh, it's
Cetus?
for
Then you go to
Cetus.
Cetus.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to Cetus and then you open a
Oh.
pool. And
Oh.
and for Ethereum, it's going to be Uniswap can be one,
Right.
Pancake Swap for BNB, right? So you go to those. And you do not need permission from any project to open a liquidity pool. You can open a liquidity pool for XRP. You can open a liquidity pool for Solana, or anything on Solana. Nobody needs to know about your pool either, right? Everybody opens their own pool. This is your pool. It has nothing to do with the project. You don't need permission. You can set it up, and you can make money even by, if you're doing single sided, is when you want to buy or sell. It basically works as a limit order, right? But in the pool, you can set a range in which you want your tokens to sell, or a portion of these tokens to sell. If you're adding double-sided liquidity, so you're adding both of the ends of the spectrum here, then you can actually earn fees. Especially, look, if you're holding a lot of tokens for something, you match that in USDT or wherever the pool is matched up with, right? And if something trades nicely sideways, man, this is like a money gainer because you actually for that we call that liquidity farming, pool farming. So you're getting fees, you're getting paid to do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're getting 0.5% usually. That adds up. So a lot of pools on Pepe. There's a lot of pools on different things, right? So you can add your pool wherever you want to add your pool. That's up to you. It's your pool. You do not need permission. You're also not a part of the project at all. Anybody can open any pool anywhere, anytime, any pair. So,
Yeah.
but if you do it single sided, it just means that you're not trading in and out. You're just trading out or in, right? Depending.
Mm,
But in back in the day, back in the crypto day, I'm gonna sound old, but this is like 2 years ago. Because last year, Uniswap actually came out with where we would be able to set limit orders, but we couldn't before. And this was actually what you would use, to set some sort of limit order. You create that through the pool.
yeah.
And if you do double sided liquidity, it's actually called farming. When you go to Uniswap, pool, farm. You go to earn, and then you see liquidity farming, and you go there. You open a pool, and you get paid for the trading that is happening in your pool. And there's people who trade arbitrage trading between pools. So, but that's going to
Mm,
be like a whole different
yeah.
different space on that. Do your research. There's tons of good videos out there on YouTube that I know explain it really, really quickly and well. So I don't feel like we need to really do a rehashing on all of this. But
Mm-hmm.
I think it's valuable to learn, especially if you want to exit trades, right? And then, especially if you have a large portfolio, maybe of coins, you want to set these pools up, have your targets in there already. So when it happens, this moves on auto for you. So you don't need to watch these things. Jay, you have your hand up.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you mentioned the pool
Yeah.
conversation because Quakey does have liquidity pools on our website. We have a pairing with Coins community. We have our own, liquidity pool, and then Apollo down there. Once his project sells out, there will be a locked-in liquidity pool for about 30% after sellout. So that's another thing that we're talking about with future projects that join the community. If they decide they want to lock in some type of wards, they can do that with Quakey. There's other projects that are doing that too. We're not the only ones that are doing it, but I just wanted
Oh
to
yeah, you can
throw
use
that up
it.
there.
Yeah, you can use this strategy as a utility for a token as well. But just to keep things, I was mentioning it more to keep things separate because if people want to exit a trade and they want to do good on themselves, right? Have a price for every token, and don't take a price impact of 20-30%, right? Um, they can add their own pool, single
Right,
sided, and it will
that's
not
true.
sell on the chart, and it will be all Gucci, win-win situation there, right? So
Right, right. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm definitely bookmarking this space. I think it's important for our community to learn about and discuss more in depth. 'Cause the thinking part, I know a lot of people aren't comfortable having a conversation, including me to some degree, right? Like some of the stuff that you said that I wasn't familiar with. So I'm definitely gonna I'll play it back and we're gonna discuss it on a
yeah,
Telegram.
well,
I'd
yeah,
love to invite you to our Telegram calls at 10:30 on a Friday. I think that would be
yes.
very helpful for our team as a collective. And the last thing I wanted to say, what I wanted to say earlier was what is so much different about Quakey, not to shield Quakey so hard, is that it really
Chill it.
is. It, sure, I'll chill it. It really is the fact that we don't hire AOLs. We don't hire anybody. We don't hire people to do graphics. We don't hire people to host spaces. Even myself, I'm not hired by Quakey. I attached myself to Quakey because I knew that the block Quake exchange was backing the coin. So if you wouldn't look at it from a different point of view, I knew what was coming down the pipeline based off who's involved, and because I knew what was coming down the pipeline, I said I should put out my first NFT collection with the community that's attached to a exchange. That sounds like a no brainer. You know what I mean? So
And
when this,
you know
yeah,
what?
go ahead.
That is bullish. Everybody's gotta help pump their own bag. It's gonna take a little bit longer. The grind is gonna be a little bit harder, but it's gonna be more worth it, more rewarding because there's so much more to go around with other, and that's not to trash on KOLs. There are some good ones out there. I know them, and they work hard too, and they have perfectly good agreements. Right? There are some assholes, not gonna lie, but there's also good ones, and uh, right, we gotta shout them out too anytime we find something positive. But you guys, we got to close up the space
Hmm.
because I am due for a call somewhere else. I'm gonna be after that a little bit, vibing into that TG of 1000X. Gonna do like a little VC there, little delusional bull time. Just maybe some chilling, right? So meet you in there if you are in that TG then. I mean, lots of TGs at the moment, but yeah, let's go ahead and
Awesome. Yeah.
do it.
Yeah,
Yeah, what's it
what's the
taking?
ticker? Yeah. What's the ticker? Where's it at? What is the ticker? Where's it at? I got crypto in the bag, send the CA in the chat. Gonna ape another fat. Got a runner on the map, so line of sniping like a cat. And the SOE is moving quickly. I'm the squeezing where they at. I'm trying to bring the Mimquins back. 1000X is gonna land. I got it chilling in the back, and the gas fees are gonna slap. Where's the ticker? Where's it at?
Yes, everybody, thank you for joining again here or on YouTube or on X live stream. You're more than welcome tomorrow. Another space where we're gonna do some alpha for projects and maybe some shill coaching, right? How to do your pitches correctly, that sort of stuff. So, all projects welcome there. If you're part of the community, you're more than welcome to join too. If we can help you out with your profile, just hop on stage with us, and you're gonna be bullish. Yeah, have a great Saturday, you guys. Touch some grass, right? And we'll see you tomorrow. Tick.
Stay bullish, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.